Hi everyone, welcome to Tea Time with Thuy and Edith.
And me.
Tea Time is Thuy and Edith
Argue. Disagree. Argue.
It's flat out arguing.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Say it any way you want. Tomato, tomato.
Potato, potato.
Arguing, discussion.
Chatting, talking, conversation.
Disagreeing.
We don't always have to agree, right? We don't always have to agree.
That is true.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's up with you, Edith?
I had a visit from my friends just recently from England. They were visiting, Sarah and Paul. Lots of British celebrities or people I used to watch on TV growing up. The blooming pedos. It's disgusting.
All of them?
A lot of them. Like a few of them. A few of them have been noted as being bad boys.
Oh.
Playing with things they shouldn't. It's disgusting. Like Gary Glitter, for instance. You know Gary Glitter?
No.
Used to be a singer, a rock star, British rock star.
Okay.
He's now in jail. He's in prison. He's been in prison for a while. I think it was in 97. And then he was found with a gazillion porn videos of children, like children videos on his computers and whatever. And he was arrested in 97, but he ended up in jail in 99. I think he was supposed to be released in 23, but they didn't give him bail. He didn't get released, so he's still in jail right now.
So that's why I was in the news, because he was supposed to be released like a year ago.
Yeah, and he didn't get any release. He wasn't released. Pedo. He should stay there. Rot.
But you knew back when all these like charges were coming up against him.
I didn't.
Oh.
I didn't know. No, I didn't.
Oh my goodness.
I know.
Gary Glitter. That sounds like a punk rock name.
It was a rock star.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was
Back
he
in
ever
the
like
80s,
married?
90s. I'm sure he was, like, being a rock star.
Right.
You know?
Well, I was just wondering.
I know he's got a daughter.
Right.
What happened to his daughter? So he has children.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just one of a few. Like, let's see, Rolf Harris. You know Rolf Harris? He was Australian.
Okay.
He used to, didgeridoo, tie me kangaroo down, sport. Never heard that song?
No.
Well, Rolf Harris is a fabulous artist. He used to draw. He used to do this little. It used to be a TV program, for kids, and he'd do lots of things with art and a piece of plasticine and make things. He was a real good drawer, so he'd do lots of sketches and drawing. I used to watch Rolf all the time.
Is this kind of like what, I don't know, if you've seen like, say, Captain Kangaroo or like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood?
I've seen Mr. Rogers once or twice, but
okay.
Yeah, just like that, like a kiddish show.
Yeah.
Yeah, for kids. Rolf Harris, he is also a pedo.
Oh my gosh.
I know. All these people who work with kids, for kids, playing with kids.
So what happens to his show? Like, is it in reruns or do they pull him from the air?
I think he's been pulled. Just like Prince Andrew is no longer doing anything for the royal family. There was a picture of him at Christmas with a family, and that's pretty much it. That was a private party, kind of a family event, so
right.
He was allowed to go, but any other thing for the royal family is kaput. And that's because of his connection with Jeffrey Epstein.
But I don't understand that, because if he does have an actual sort of like verified connection to Epstein, then why wouldn't he be sort of like, I don't want to say like in confinement, but like why is he able to still go around,
walk around the streets?
Yeah,
because they haven't charged him with anything. Even though I know a woman said, like, she was 16 or 17 at the time, Epstein brought her to him at one of Epstein's houses somewhere 3 times apparently he had sex with this woman. She's saying that he took her to a nightclub, he bought her drinks, and all he's saying in the interviews that he has is, I don't recall that. I don't remember that.
But okay, even if he went to a nightclub with her and bought her drinks
and had sex with her,
I mean, does it mean that it was non-consensual? So what is she alleging, if that's a word? What is she alleging?
That Epstein had her and a bunch of girls that they would distribute between the people with power, pretty much.
Kind of pimping them out.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. And she's said that this is real. She's been under oath, you know, so he is not under oath in the interview, obviously, and he's just denying everything. And the interviewer asked him, if you were to be called to give a statement, a legal statement, would you say that she's lying? And then he says something like, I can't say that because I don't really know who she is and I can't speak for what she's trying to say.
Right.
But it's obvious what she's trying to say. You messed with her and you shouldn't have done. That's what she's saying.
Yeah, I think it has to be more specific than that. Just because you could say, you know what I mean? Like, oh, you're in a club and I'm not trying to say like this kind of behavior is like condoned or whatever, but if you're both like hanging out, you meet each other, you have drinks and stuff, you make unwise decisions, as we all have. But it's like, you know, unless she's like saying very specifically, like, no, then I was, you know, I don't know, not within my right frame of mind, and meanwhile he's pimping me out or he's doing things to me against my will because I was vulnerable, I was unable to like fend him off. Do you know what I mean? You have to be like pretty specific, because otherwise it's kind of like, yeah, how could he say, you know, yay or nay?
How can he not say yay or nay? Either you did or you didn't. So
maybe he's been with like so many
people
women in different clubs, he can't say specifically, yes, Miss Smith,
Okay, so he says, no, I have no recollection of that. I don't remember that at all. And then he says something like, oh, I remember that night. I took my daughter to pizza place somewhere. I remember that quite clearly because I don't usually go there. That was his response. After he'd already said something. Yeah.
Oh, pizza?
Pizza.
Okay.
He took Beatrice for pizza.
Wow.
I remember that now. Yes, I took Beatrice for some pizza.
That's so weird. Come on.
I don't know.
But okay, so these people, I mean, was, say, in this sense, like Epstein, was he ever like anyone's idol, so to speak? Like Gary Glitter, you could be like, oh yeah, cool, he's a punk rocker, I want to be a rock star when I grow up. But then Epstein is like, oh, I want to be like Epstein when I grow up. He's not really, was he really anybody's like idol? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like role model? Well, what did
that.
he even like do, so to speak? I mean, I know he was kind of like in the limelight, so he was like a celebrity, but it doesn't mean necessarily he's like...
He knew lots of people, apparently, like politicians and bigwigs. He knew many of those. He'd get them all together in his houses, places.
Oh my goodness.
I know.
So like, as you were like saying that, you're talking about like people who have sort of like fallen, you know, into like disgrace or whatever. I mean, I had a few people that come into mind. They're not necessarily like my idols or like my role models, but one of the big ones, a big entertainer, is Bill Cosby.
Obviously, Bill.
And it's not like I looked up to him, but oh my gosh, growing up watching the Cosby Show, did you watch that in England?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
It was just like, you know, you come home, and then I remember it was like Thursday nights. It was like during the prime time television, which is like 8 p.m. And their half-hour show like kind of led the way.
Yeah.
And then you had like, you know, a good night, and then you go to bed or whatever, right? And it was always like so much fun. He had so much like joking and giggles with all the kids that he like hung out with, and he always had the coolest guest cameos of like jazz musicians or like other like comedians and actors and stuff. And you're looking back and you see like episodes, you're like, oh, look, it's Sinbad, or Harry Anderson, or it's just so many cool people. And then it's like, oh man, really, dude, that happened. And then they had to pull all the sitcoms. I can't even watch reruns now. And even if I were to, it's
you
not
think
the same
it?
feeling.
No, it's not. You see him now, and it's just like, no.
Yeah,
it's a shame.
Now the thing is with him, he was. I can't believe it's already been this long, but he was convicted in 2018. Can you believe it's already been like 6 years? And he was released from prison in 2021. So I don't know what he's doing now. He's kind of still obviously, a little bit, maybe, I don't say like in hiding, but obviously he's not going to be out in the limelight, right? He is up, speaking of like sitcoms and stuff, he is up to potentially have another sitcom where he plays a dad of a multi-generational family for 2000, maybe 24 or 25. So coming up soon.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know how popular it'll be.
I don't know, people might watch it just because. Yeah,
just to see.
And then not.
Right.
But he's a funny guy.
I know, but it's such a shame. So again, it's not like he was like one of my role models, but it's like
it's ruined.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that show.
Yeah.
I love the Cosby Show.
It's ruined.
Yeah. He acts so silly, and then he dances, and he
all
wasn't
those
afraid.
Kids around, and all of them growing up, and
I know. My other one that is kind of, again, not necessarily like an idol, but it was something that I enjoyed and still do enjoy watching. But I don't know if you were familiar with the sitcom Seinfeld.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Who's not?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what you watch in England. If you're watching like
since I moved to America, I've watched Seinfeld.
Okay.
I never watched it in England, but
okay.
Yeah, I've been
the humor is a little bit different, right? But the character Kramer is played by Michael Richards.
Right.
So Michael Richards, Seinfeld, ended awesome. Everyone was on like a career high. All four of those main characters. Many of the side characters still were like so popular, went on to still do movies and stuff like that. But Kramer, which is Michael Richards, he did stand up.
Yeah,
and again, not like he was like my role model and everything, or my go-to with like stand-up comedians, but I guess apparently, I forget where, but in 2006 he was performing somewhere, and I don't know if the audience members were like heckling him or if they were just being rude or drunk. But he started going off on a tirade on one of the audience members, and he started repeatedly calling this man the N-word.
I remember this.
Oh my gosh. And don't get me wrong, but we all have our moments. We all have our oh, you're so angry, or you're so whatever, and you just blurt out whatever, diarrhea from your mouth, right? But man, like considering like his caliber of fame, didn't he like not think that it's not going to get back to him somehow, or someone's going to film it, or the people there are going to talk about it?
Right. Maybe he thought it were being funny, because like when you're up on stage doing your few minutes or however long you're up on stage, if someone says something to you that's specifically to you, not in regards to your joke or what you're talking about, like, you suck, get off.
Right.
You might say a couple of words to that person just because that person's saying something. You're going to say something that's going to shut them up and shut them down.
Sure.
Or you're supposed to be able to do that and make everybody else laugh, entertain everybody else with what you're saying because it's funny.
Right.
Obviously, that wasn't funny.
Handling it in a professional manner.
Correct.
Yeah. So
yes.
Supposedly, I didn't really like look into it that much, but ever since that happened in 2006, I guess he's only had 2 movie appearances. And 2006, let's see, that's been
a lot of years. It's like 18 years ago.
Yeah. Holy cow. So, I mean, not to say that, he doesn't have he's not probably hurting financially because he made so much money on that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just, you know what I mean? What are you going to do now?
He's going to sit at home and watch reruns of Seinfeld.
Or The Cosby Show. Yeah. And again, this one is also not necessarily something I watched. And I know there's so many people. There's musicians recently P. Diddy and things like that. And there's sports celebrities.
Yes.
And I don't really keep up on that as much.
No.
Just because, I don't.
Yeah.
It's the whole gossip thing and whatever,
Yes.
right? And I have trouble keeping up with all of your crap.
Mm-hmm. I can understand that because I have a lot of crap.
Keeping tabs on you.
Right.
But this was, I don't want to say a shocker, but I remember when it was all kind of going down. But do you know the Today Show and Matt Lauer?
Yes. When he messing with women,
right.
Just.
So Matt Lauer had been on the Today Show for 20 years. And in November of 2017, NBC announced that he was terminated because of sexual misconduct allegations from staff.
Several staff members.
Well, I think it was one person in particular, but then after he was terminated, I'm not sure exactly, but then a few more people started coming out saying that maybe at a staff party he acted inappropriately, exposed himself.
Yeah.
And then another person would say that maybe she was working in the, I don't know, not the mail room, but she was working somewhere else, behind the scenes, and she did I guess what's the word that they said, sort of she did give in to his sexual advances, but she said that it's supposedly because she felt that if she didn't, it would hurt her career.
Yeah. And I believe that's what most people with a little bit of power, that's how they behave. They want to be more powerful, pretty much. That's what I think anyway.
Right.
Because, they
think they're untouchable.
Yeah, they do. Whether it's a TV personality or a politician or, because they have that status, that higher status, they think they can get away with stuff like that.
But who are they to think that, say, out of 20 people I sexually harass or sexually assault, none of them are going to tattletale on me, or none of them have the guts to
That's exactly it. And if they do, who's going to believe them? Because I am me.
I'm so likable.
I am me. I wouldn't do that.
Right.
That's not my caliber.
And that was my thing with Matt Lauer was not that he was labeled America's sweetheart, but you saw his face every morning on the Today Show.
Yeah.
And he was kind of oh, look at this guy with the smile
wake
on
up
his
to
face.
him. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he's interviewing celebrities. He's doing these stories about, oh, look at these cute puppies or whatever. and we think that we know them because we see how they are.
Yeah.
And in a sense, you kind of feel, some people felt they're friends with them, almost as if they know them personally. And then, boom, that happens.
Yeah. The same thing with another guy, Philip Schofield. He was a UK personality, TV personality.
Okay.
He would do morning shows like Matt Lauer. He'd be on the morning shows. He'd do I think it was not come dancing, but dancing on ice, and hosting shows, big shows, primetime TV time. Right. Also, and he was married for the longest time, a good looking guy, and he had for years he was having an affair with a young guy who worked in the back with them, on the show.
What?
Yeah, and he were married for years. And in his interview, he's well, this has ruined my life. The fact that people found out about his cheating ways, it ruined his life. He's no longer on TV.
Right.
In his interview, he's saying, what do people want from me? do they want me dead? Because that's where I'm at. Like, he's so far down now.
Right.
But he's got nobody to blame but himself.
Right.
You know? So don't expect people to feel sorry for you.
Was he married to a woman?
He was married to a woman.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
For a long time.
So here's kind of like my sort of like ending question, so to speak. Do you feel that there's any kind of way that they could do something for redemption for any of those examples that you and I gave? Is there any type of saving grace for them?
Some of them, maybe like Philip cheated on his wife. So, like, people cheat, obviously.
Right.
People do cheat. They have done. It shouldn't be the end of him. I don't know what the issue was with the person. I don't know if they were underage. I don't think they were underage. You know, like, it was a consensual affair that he was having, but it was still an affair.
Right.
So just, you don't want to be married, you want to be with someone else, be with someone else, get divorced.
Right.
You know, it didn't have to end his career.
Right.
Now, the ones with kids, no. Nope. Should be on an island somewhere, fending for himself with nothing.
Right.
Nothing.
So you're
Yes.
saying that in certain instances, there is maybe a chance that maybe just like starting over.
Yes.
Yeah.
For some, like I say, because it's not so bad, but if it's anything to do with a child, no, there isn't. There's
Right.
no.
Or like
In my
pedos.
opinion, yeah. Pedophiles,
That's
castrate
horrible.
them, send them away.
You know, when you were saying that, I thought of this example is, I don't know if you were working the show, but when Louis C.K., after all that stuff happened to him, I mean, I don't even know if his show was still going on, but he had all of those like allegations, kind of like Epstein, where like these women were saying, oh, he made me do this, he made me do that. And I remember like he did one of the shows at the club after all that happened. You know, he was kind of in the shadows for a while, but then he started touring again, and he came to our club, and he came out onto the stage, and everyone cheered and stuff, and he was just kind of like a
Touching himself?
no,
okay.
no, but it was
Just checking.
kind of like, I don't want to say it's kind of like like it made it like okay, but I was appreciative that he like acknowledged it, and he was kind of like, I'm sorry, like
Yeah.
I did it.
Right.
He was kind of like,
Right. He did it. Who don't want to have the pee-pee touched occasionally? Oh, you know, well, you know, because again, did he actually touch women, or did he just touch himself in front of women?
I'm not sure if it was a combination of both. Like
Right.
maybe, yeah, like he was watching them shower while he was pleasuring himself.
I see.
But at least it was, again, at least he like acknowledged it and was kind of like a,
Yeah, you caught me.
yeah.
My
But
bad.
it wasn't like, I don't remember, or
Uh-huh.
she's crazy.
Yeah.
So at least,
Not putting it on someone else. Yeah.
you know what I mean? I don't want to say it's like redemption, but at least it's a start.
Right.
Now just
Admitting
don't do it again. Yeah.
Yes.
Just don't do it again.
Right.
Try to be on the straight and narrow from here
Yeah.
on out.
Ask nicely. You might get a yes. Right?
Right. So, okay. So there is some redemption for people. Others,
Oh, there's no way.
Definite no.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definite no.
you know, you and I, we only named like a few people, but I would like to hear other maybe examples and stuff from our
sure there's so many more out there.
from our audience.
Yeah. If you know of any.
Sure. We don't have to dwell on all the stuff that they did. We don't want it to be like a bashing of these people, but just maybe like someone that you kind of held in like high esteem, high regard, that just later on you're just like, wow, okay, they're just people
What a
too.
loser.
Dang, you're harsh.
Well, sometimes you have to be. Because if you're not, then you're not.
You have anything else to add?
No, it's just kind of sad that
Right.
I hear this news and all these people. I'm like, whoa. Ugh. I did look up to Rolf Harris. I really enjoyed watching Rolf.
Oh,
It saddens me so much to know that he was that way.
right.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Hopefully it was something that was like not during his time.
Well, it was with the kids on the show.
Yeah.
Probably was.
Hopefully
Probably.
not. You don't want to like dwell and think about things like that, but
No. Unfortunate.
did you ever like go to one of Gary Glitter's like concerts?
No.
Oh, okay.
Nuh-uh. I did not.
And then now you're like ashamed that you went there.
No, I didn't. No, I did see Bill Cosby live though at the Penn Relays one year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in
Wow.
Philly. Yeah.
Where's that?
Philadelphia.
Right? But like in a huge auditorium?
It's the Relays. It's at the stadium. It's at the field. We'll go and do all the races. It was like track and field kind of. It's a lot of just mainly running. No like discus or shot puts. Just relays, 100 meters, 200 meters.
How far away?
Oh, he came right up to fence to us.
Oh,
Him
cool.
and like 3 athletes. I've got photos at home. I have photos somewhere of it. It was a really cool day.
Right.
I don't have a photo of Bill.
If you had it, what would you do? Rip it up?
I don't think I would rip it up. I'd write on it, he didn't get me. That's what I'd write.
I have a picture of Louis C.K.
You do?
Yeah.
I like Louis.
Yeah.
I like him. That don't change for me.
Right.
No.
I'm glad
And
he
that tickles
admitted
me,
it.
actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad he admitted it. Yo mama's so ugly. Bill Cosby gave her a Red Bull.
Don't get it. I don't get it.
She gave her a Red Bull to wake up. That's how ugly yo mama is.
I see. That's okay.
Jeez.
I need to be awake for that one.
Edith.
Bill Cosby gave a Red Bull. I get it now. Because it wakes you up, does Red Bull?
Yes.
I don't drink that stuff.
Yeah, you put other crap into your liver instead.
Yes. It also wakes you up.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. Please join us on any of the leading
Social media platforms.
I had a brain freeze for a
She
second.
did.
Oh,
Twitter,
I know.
YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, anything. Social media. What's going on?
Here's what I was gonna say. I remember what I was gonna say now.
Okay. Say it.
Thank you so much for joining us. You could find us on any of the major listening platforms such as
YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, others,
Spotify. Yeah. Any major listening platforms. You could find us there. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share the videos.
Give us some comments. Give us some feedback. Let us know what you think.
Thank you so much for joining.
Yep. See you soon.